pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Second, you again.
Your name and present.
Bill Barnes, present.
Danny Bennett, president.
Doug Streets, Answay, has a hospital appointment. He'll be here to do it. Okay, now we get open forum. Is there anything from the floor? See no hands, we'll move right on. Correspondence, Kenny?
We got a thank you letter from the Oswego Fire Protection District for participating in their mock shooting drill at the schools. And we got another thank you note from the Plainfield Park District for using the old headquarters for their beer, wine tasting and Easter egg hunt for the old folks. And we got a thank you note from RJ's family for the fall arrangement for his dad. And we got another thank you note from Dave Selville for the holding the Corps of Honor for the Eagle Scout here. And that's it.
Okay. You filed. Okay, entertain a motion for the payment for the approval of the minutes of June 10th, I'm sorry, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
The amended, correct?
Amended record.
So moved.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Also, approve the approval of the minutes of the June 4th special work select meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion is carried.
Make a motion to approve the treasury report as read.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the report of the treasurer. That's in the June 2014.
Make a motion to pay the bills in the usual manner.
You need to vote on that.
Yeah,
Treasurer's report first.
Vote on the treasurer's report. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Now to
Make
pay.
a motion to pay the bills in the usual manner.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained, motion is carried. Old business. Who's going to handle it?
We'll tag team.
Tag team? Okay. Who's up?
Okay, first of all, after the storm on Monday, I kind of updated you all, damage to our stations and stuff. Other than that, it's pretty minor, superficial. Paul's handling all the corrections on that, and Dave's going to compliment on the other stations.
They did address some of the issues that Denny brought up about old headquarters after the couple of public comments about the disrepair that was in, so they've been taking care of that. The soften trim work that we had let to happen on Station 1 and 3 had some challenges with the current contractor. He's yet to respond to some of our inquiries, so we're looking at another avenue for that. So that's still a work in progress. Station 4, we're still waiting for the warranty response for the roof units. We'll move along.
Is the landscape thing that to do the contract we had before, or is that the new contract?
For the landscaping?
Yeah.
We have not let a new contract since before. We've got the one that's working through right now with the fertilizing and all those types of things. That's going along.
Okay, thank you. I guess you're up on the headquarters. You gave that report, post-training facility.
What I handed out to you, Lieutenant Bauer and myself, we're working on the props for the non-burning prop and for the classic combustible prop. These are some of the renderings. We did meet with the rest of the training committee for some of their ideas. So what you're seeing now is pretty close to the final. The final should be out probably in a week or two. We lost some of their CAD abilities at this place, so kind of what you're seeing now is pretty much it, except for there might be some window changes and some door changes and a couple of small props. Pretty much the colors and everything will kind of match what the shop is, bike shop. That's the type of color scheme we're looking at. So right now, just kind of want to hand those over to you so you can kind of get a look at them. If you come up with any ideas, let us know. This is part of that whole process of when we built the campus here. You'll see there's the price sheet as of right now. That's with us getting everything done by this company. So once we get the final drawings and the final numbers, we'll come back and kind of show you the actual detail.
Now, excuse me, are they coming up with containers or we
They,
still?
right now, with the prices you're seeing in here, that's full package of the containers and everything. What's nice about this type of a prop is where down the road, if we outgrow it or if we want to add on to it, you can always add on to it, or they can come and disassemble it. And simply can sell it off to somebody else if we want to change our props. The thing that doesn't include on this would be some of the site work. It could be like some of the pillars and caissons and something like that to hold in some of the concrete work. So once we get the footprint of how these props are going to sit, then we can kind of go out for that kind of thing. That being said, like I said, this is part of that whole package when we got the bonds for the whole complex and everything. So
There's 340, that's the top.
No, do it.
there's two of them, Doug. You'll see you got the non-burn training prop, and you also have the Class A fire training prop.
Do I need to keep the BNSF on the hook?
I think we're okay right now. With what we have here currently, I think we're good.
Okay.
This is an either one, include two.
This is, we're gonna do two. We're gonna do an actual Class A, then with that being said, we could do like all our specialty teams and some of the other training we do could be in the non-burn thing. So we don't contaminate our ropes, some of our gear. Class A combustible, we'll do all our fire training there, which is pretty much our structure of firefighting gear. So we don't want to put our guys in there, the cart team and the hazmat guys in that type of an atmosphere with gear.
Okay, just before Chief Stratton's report, Doug Street joined the board. So we noted. Just Plain Street property sale. Yes.
Well, we have, believe it or not, we have two prospects now looking at it pretty heavy. They're supposed, in fact, both prospective investors or buyers are presently out of town. They're due back in the next couple of weeks, and supposedly one of them, we're gonna get them off. So, but as of right this second, I have nothing else that I can hang my hat on.
Is it Donald Trump?
No, not yet.
Strategic plan update, if we have something on that.
That's where it was at the last meeting. We're kind of fine tuning some of the rough spots and then
Workshop time with my
Right.
Okay. Grant updates?
nothing new on grants.
Okay. Review and discuss the ambulance fee charges.
This is what we talked about before, if you were to purchase outright or.
No, it's a bill.
What I've done is just basically updated the simple fee chart with the relative comps that we used in 2012, I believe. Updated theirs, left our current rate, the present rate on our line. Give you guys time to take a look at that. And Sherry and I discussed this previously and thought it'd be better to let this sit till next meeting, let you guys see where we are relative to the comps, and we can move from this point then and provide you at the next meeting a couple of small variations in what I would suggest and give you an idea of the potential based on our current call volumes. So without us being at the top of the mix or at the bottom of the mix, but still being responsible and trying to offset some of our upfront costs.
Okay.
you have any questions, I know you just got it tonight, but that's the plan. If you want
What
to
you-
do something else.
What you have in the gray highlight is what you're recommending?
No, that is our current
That's our
status.
current.
So you can see what it is.
Nice, okay.
As of May, all the other ones above that
I got you.
are accurate, but those were in the mix too. They were all going to be, most of them were going to be going up as well.
Well, they're going up again too?
The other communities, yeah. That was, Jim and I met with Pat from Andres, and they were in the middle of I don't know how many clients they have, a ton of clients, but all of them were in that spot where they were going to be readjusted. Because of the unknown with Obamacare and the potential recovery from Medicaid, or the diminishing recoveries from that, or other insurance companies, our ability to recover from them, we don't know where that's going to be right now, and that's a problem to predict. So,
Okay, thank you.
And some of the other ones, we're gonna use the same charges for resident and non-resident.
so I don't know that all of them. There's a few of them that have different charges, but the last time we did it, you elected to remain the same because we have our residents get deferred. I don't want to say deferred treatment, but they get the billing is addressed in a different manner. So.
Review and approve the ambulance purchase payment for adoption.
This was the one thing we were talking about, the upfront payment for the ambulance, or the 3% up payment of the ambulance. So that being said, was we kind of looked at it with that type of pricing is it saved $27.31 we were paid up front. So that being said, you got $147,718. Then at the delivery of the ambulance to us, then they would return us a check for $27.31. So kind of the committee's recommendation was to go with that. I mean, you get a 3% payback on your money. I think it's pretty good. So
Yeah.
just looking for approval on that to move forward.
Okay, Board Deputy Pat.
You gotta make a motion for that, or?
No, I want to know.
You gotta make a motion for that, David?
I'd say yes.
Yes?
Might as well.
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we go that route then.
Second.
Moved and seconded, we'll go by voice vote, and, yep,
Jim Morgan, yes.
Doug Shreve, yes.
Bill Barnes, yes.
Committee's on it, yes.
Motion is carried. Okay, review and approve the residency policy for part-time employees.
Okay, you got HI and J on that. Chief Moore's worked on that, and that was what I gave you on there, the personnel policy. So we're just looking at you to review it now. There's quite a bit to it, a lot of detail on that. Dave and I were talking, so go ahead and review it, and we're good with it coming back in August.
Okay.
That way, if you have any questions, we can update prior to it.
And they're all the same. They're all in the same policy. The wording has just been.
In the policy manual.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of the wording's changed.
Yeah. And you have that copy of the change.
This is the Explorer thing also, correct?
Right. Explorers part-time and the same.
All the items we discussed a couple of meetings ago, now it's all on paper for you to look at, what the changes will be in the policy.
Yeah.
Review and discuss the proposed budget. Do we have anything on that here? We've scheduled a workshop for that.
The budget hearing is scheduled for July 22nd.
Just so everyone knows, you are in compliance with the law by having, and you do have on file here at the district, the tentative budget.
Yeah.
It will have been on file for at least 30 days before your July 22nd budget hearing. You published in the newspaper to hold your hearing July 22nd. You'll do that, and then any time after that, you will be able to adopt the budget ordinance.
And we have posted, haven't we, Sherry? Yeah,
And
posted.
it's on our website.
We're legal. Review applicants for the open trustee position. Do we, sorry.
If you'd like to do this in closed session, you may. There is a specific
Oh,
exemption
do we have any,
to
Sherry?
do that.
We do, okay. let's hold that for closed session then. New business. Operational issues?
The only thing I got on there, Mr. Barnes, is an operational issue. We had firefighter resign from us, so we're just looking for your approval to seek that open position to fill it with the next guy on the list. We'll schedule a meeting with the commissioners to get that done again. Just looking for your approval.
Motion to approve the,
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Fill that position.
moved and seconded, all in favor, starting to do that. Please vote.
Yes. Danny Bennett, yes.
Bill Barnes, yes.
Doug Street, yes.
Jim Lehman, yes.
Motion is carried. So who notifies the commission?
We'll take care of it.
Okay. Board of review notice, Sherry, we have some, nothing there? Okay.
No annexation.
No annexation. Plainfield Fest.
Plainfield Fest, that's coming up, we shut the road down on Thursday of the weekend of the 18th, 19th, and 20th. One of the things that came up was they're moving a lot of stuff around downtown. They were looking at the beer tent and wanted to put it in our north parking lot of old headquarters. I said I'd bring it to you guys. I kind of talked to a couple of you. I went to Rob Epley, who's kind of the chairperson of the Plainfield Fest. Spoke with legal on it right away. They said pretty much if we got a couple of documents from them, dram shop and liability insurance, and we'd be okay. So that being said, I went back and talked to Rob, and he's okay with it. He'll comply with everything that we requested on that, and also naming us on that policy. So we're okay with it. Rob's okay with it. Legal's okay with it. Just want to get your permission to utilize that lot.
Nothing else we really need from them, Dave?
No, if we can have those documents prepared and executed beforehand, then you should be fine to do that.
There's nothing else going on in that building that weekend, is there?
No,
Like
we
the
are.
Boy Scouts or anything?
That type of event, we'll have some of our paramedics down there working just the fest. They'll be housed in old headquarters.
Okay.
But none of our apparatus will be down there, none of that kind of stuff. So.
Okay. Motion to, for approval of the downtown parking lot usage?
I'll make a motion to give them permission to use it.
I'll second.
Providing that
With legal.
the legal paperwork's in place.
I'll second that. All in favor, second with you, Jim?
Jim Lehman, yes.
Doug Street, yes.
Bill Barnes, yes.
Danny Bennett, yes.
Motion is carried. Chief's report.
Well, as you know, he's on a vacation, so you'll see some of the reports did come in with the holidays and everything coming up. A couple of reports didn't come in yet. As soon as they do come in, we'll forward them on to you.
Okay. The fire recovery, that's the same thing?
That's it.
Oh, it's in there, okay. Monthly call reports in there, safety committee updates, pension updates, do we have anything there? What are the written reports? That just is,
All of the chief
All the
reports.
chief
and,
reports.
okay, oh, okay, all of them. Maybe we have those, yes. Okay, we'll go to committee reports. I have nothing as far as administration. Vehicles, nothing there. Does anybody know about? Do we have a problem with?
They just, they had to replace the alternator in 14 recently,
41.
or 41, I mean. Other than that,
What was with 19?
Well, actually, there was a gearbox for the driving steering column on that. Came in one day and we found a leak on it. Vehicle was out of service. Mike made a phone call, had that component shipped the next day here. Typically, if that was to happen and get shipped out, it's a week and a half job. That truck, Mike had that truck up and running by the next afternoon. So that being said, kudos to Mike on that. He took care of it, and that was the only issue with that. We've had issues before with him, and he's pretty much got it dialed in how to change it. So.
We had to have them degreased though.
Mike, did, yeah, Mike.
Yeah. Land and buildings, Danny? Anything else on what you report?
no, other than, I got one question, and maybe one of you guys can remember, but were they not supposed to redo the
They were supposed to
It
receive.
seemed like to me they were supposed to redo that because to make that so it was easier.
They were gonna overseed it. When they did the walkthrough, if I remember right, they were gonna top dress that and overseed it to get that grass better back there. Because it's just,
So,
it's nuts.
we talked to Rock about that?
Yeah,
I think he said that they were gonna do it.
They were gonna do it.
When they did the walkthrough here, I think it was on the list to do.
I'll double check that,
So-
then we're gonna see him Friday again anyways.
all right.
That was supposed to be done originally. And
And other than that, we've already talked about the damages to a couple of the stations, so that's all I have.
EMS, Jim, we covered some of that, I know.
Nothing additional.
Anything personnel, then?
just, if we go to close, there's a couple things in these personnel policies I'd like to just have you look at.
Okay. Fire commission report, we have anything there from there? No.
We got a meeting scheduled tomorrow at 1600.
Okay, Deputy Chief Stratton report, training updates, and whatever.
Pretty much I've covered everything so far in my report. So,
Okay. Deputy Chief Riddle?
Just two small things. Our next labor management meeting is set for Thursday at 7:30 a.m. So the executive board from the union and the chiefs who are on duty will be meeting together again. And then the Westcom ribbon cutting for their new facility over on the police department, Public Works campus over there is scheduled for this Friday at 10 a.m. You're all invited. We just ask for an RSVP so they can make sure they have enough stuff. So that extends to our rank and file. If anybody's interested in being a part of that ceremony, more than welcome. So
With an RSVP.
we'd appreciate an RSVP.
Okay.
You won't be barred from attending if your name's not.
Well, if you want any handouts, that's what you do.
You're right. If you want a free piece of cake, you're gonna have to go
Right,
ahead and
okay.
That is all.
Okay, we have anything for a closed session?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
do. Yeah, we asked for one.
You have a personnel matter and you have the filling of the vacancy for
Yes.
public office.
Okay, entertain a motion, well, make a motion to go to closed session at 6:25.
Second.
Motion would be closed session for
Closed session will be for
purposes
workman's comp report, personnel issues, collective bargaining, potential sale or lease of real estate, and pending and threatening litigation.
and then also add on to that the selection of a person to fill a vacancy in a public office. If you would.
All moved and seconded, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion's carried.
Get that, Mary Jo?
So, we will be back in short time.